Oh no, I lost a cherry.
Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. Here I focus on whole food, plant-based, essentially vegan comfort food.
It's really good.
Generally speaking, things that are healthy without feeling like they're healthy and boring. You know, like eating good is not a chore.
It gives me the warm tinglies. It really does. It just like makes me feel good inside.
Pretty much all the recipes you're going to see on here are on my website, pbwithj.ca. I'll also post the links below in that description thingy. And this is what I eat in a week. We were at the farm this weekend, so we woke up and my wife and I went for a walk with our dog. By the time I got back, my oatmeal was ready. I always make Instant Pot oatmeal because it's crazy easy and it comes out pretty much perfect every single time. Honestly, half a cup of oats, cup of liquid, 3 minutes, boom. But I put a lot of other stuff in it. As you can see, I just load the hell out of it with fruit. Today it's pear, mangoes, blueberries, and blackberries with some dried goji berries and peanuts and a sprinkle of hemp seeds. That's right, a whack of carbs for breakfast. Come at me, keto nerds. This is the kind of thing I eat for breakfast pretty much every day. And I wash it down with a delicious black coffee. And then we headed back to our place in Toronto. I don't normally sit in the back seat, so this was kind of nice. We were out of broth, so I got some going. Please don't ever buy broth unless you just straight up hate money. And even if you do, there are better things to spend your money on, damn it. Keep a bag of just leftover vegetable choppings in your freezer and then just pull it out whenever you need it. Boil it with a bunch of water, steep it, let it sit and just soak up all that goodness and then pour it into mason jars. It's free broth. You know, except for the fact that, you know, you did pay for the veggies and you got a utility bill to pay for the heat and the water and all that kind of stuff. I get it, it's not 100% free, but you know, it's cheap.
Nerd.
Got a few groceries for the week and then had lunch that was a combination of leftovers from last week. These are some black bean pancakes that I slathered with some almond butter, and they did not suck. So I settled in with some good music for a couple hours of baking and whatnot. Three of the things that we always have on hand for breakfast or snacking are granola bars, and muffins, and we were out of all three of them. And as you see, there's a lot of the same ingredients in each of them, which kind of makes it easy to make all together at the same time. I've done a lot of videos on my channel explaining how I make these in way better detail, so check those out. Also, recipes are below and on my website. I really love making muffins because they're literally every time I make them. Today I had tropical juice and pears, so I used that. No idea how this is going to turn out. I'll let you know how I like them when I get around to eating them later on in the week. It's also fall and I had a little tickle in my throat, so I made some detox cubes, which are essentially lemons, garlic, ginger, turmeric, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of maple syrup. I drink this daily, especially in the winter months, and it always keeps me super healthy, and if I do get a cold, it lasts for maybe half a day. That's my superpower. I got it because I swam in a dirty river as a kid. It's not a great superpower, but you know, it's better than nothing. You'll see shortly how I drink these in the morning. I did a little bit of work and I had a snack of popcorners and popcorn. I've been doing this way too often lately, and I'm partly hoping that doing this video will sort of shame me into cutting out my pre-dinner snack. For dinner, I was kind of sick and tired of being in the kitchen already all day, so I made a really quick lentil bolognese to go with some linguine. And for the veg, I took advantage of the boiling pasta and just threw in some broccoli to ride along for the last few minutes. It's not being lazy, it's being efficient and smart. It was my wife's idea many years ago, and I steal it all the time. For dessert, I just had grapes and dark chocolate and half of one of my muffins. This is a vanilla sea salt chocolate made by a local company, Chocosol, who are awesome, and they have all these different brands. And if you live in Toronto, you can find this in lots of different places. And the muffin was soft and delicious and awesome, and I'll have another one tomorrow. This is how I make my detox drink in the morning. I pop out one of the ice cubes, throw it into a coffee cup vessel type thing, add some hot water, and just let it dissolve. Super ridiculously easy. And then I just kind of let it chill out while I do a workout or something. I also start my day with vitamin C's, D's, and B12 for the health of it. The B12 I have every other day. Then I made my Fogurt mix. You can use pretty much any fruit for this, but banana works exceptionally well. I have lots of variations of this on my website. Mix it up, stick it in the fridge for a little bit, and during this time, I let it kind of solidify while I do a workout of some kind. Then I add a whack of fruit, mix it together, and I top it with hemp and the granola that I made yesterday, and I wash it down with black coffee, and it makes me happy. So freaking happy. I'm trying to play with some slow cooker recipes this week, so I decided to make a kung pao tofu for dinner. Now my phone lost one of the clips, so I added some ginger and garlic to the sauce, and then a bunch of veggies and tofu. You'll see it when it's done. I had a lunch Zoom meeting and some leftover bolognese, so I had that with some tortilla chips, some veggies and hummus, and one of my muffins, which were still deliciously beautiful and moist.
Sweet setup, right?
I'm gonna blame the fact that we had a time change this weekend on my stomach needing a snack this afternoon, so I had part of a granola bar.
They're really good.
I try not to snack in the afternoon, but one of these things, when I'm feeling a little hungry in my tummy, which I'm feeling right now, I don't want to deny it either. It's all I need to just bring me through the next couple hours until it's dinner time.
And then later, a few pop chips. Let's see if by the end of this week, I can get away from this whole pre-dinner snack.
I'll get stronger.
So we were getting ready to go to a concert, so I forgot to shoot dinner. But that's okay, because I'm going to eat it again for tomorrow for leftovers. So you just have to wait around for that. But in the meantime, here's a quick glimpse of our concert.
It's really not funny, and I just want you to live up to the image of you I created. I see when I'm so unsatisfied. I see when I'm dying.
As usual, I started my day with my vitamins and my detox drink, and I decided to make an oat bake, which is basically like a blended oatmeal that you mix together with a bunch of stuff and you bake up. Oat bake, not the most original title. You're gonna see a pattern emerging over this week, I'm sure. I generally eat a breakfast with a combination of oats, fruits, nuts, and seeds. And if I'm doing a big workout, I'll throw in some protein powder into the mix, which I did here. After breakfast, I took another run at a slow cooker meal. I'm attempting to make a chickpea cacciatore in the Instant Pot. I never made this before, so we're gonna see how it turns out. For lunch, I had some leftovers from that dinner last night that I wasn't able to show you, that I forgot to shoot.
So let's call this what it is. It looks like a goopy, disgusting, congealed mess. It's not appetizing to look at. The flavors are nice. It has like a dirty takeout kind of feel to it. It's not bad. Will this become part of my regular rotation? No. I don't think my family loved it. But am I glad I tried it? Yeah, I'm playing with a slow cooker this week. I got another meal we're making for tonight. See how that one turns out. Gonna have a cup of my Egyptian licorice tea and one of those muffins that I made for lunch too. And my kid's upstairs watching TV because she's sick. So I banished her upstairs like an evil monster. That's not true at all. She chose to go upstairs. She prefers to be in her bed watching Modern Family for the 100th time.
There you go.
Trade you popsicle for blood orange.
My daughter is home sick, and she wanted a popsicle to help her sore throat, and then I had one too, because popsicles are freaking awesome.
I realize it's November, but popsicles are awesome any time of year. That was a weird wink. What was I doing there? Why am I winking at all? That's a weird choice. I'm sorry.
And because I didn't have to make dinner, I decided to make some chia pudding for dessert. That's right, I blend my chia pudding because the texture is way more like pudding this way. Seriously, try this and you will never go back to lumpy chia pudding.
What did you do?
You don't have to have any.
Please, sir, may I have one?
Thought you ate healthy. No oil.
I didn't. Hey, not always. Not this
There's a
time.
lot of oil in here.
Just having a small handful. I blame my wife. I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for her.
Well, I would have got it if I was coming to the store.
I made her go to the store for berries. and you got chips. Don't give me that bullshit. These are actually really greasy. I don't even know if I enjoy these. I'm not doing it. See what I did? I'm very proud of myself. I definitely would have not done that years ago. Now I have oily taste in my mouth. Gotta get rid of it. Trying to check in on our cacciatore. See how it's looking. Ooh.
So I thought my dinner was kind of awesome. Our kids didn't love it, so I'm not sure it'll become a staple in our house, but I am tempted to throw it up on my website. Let me know if you want the recipe for this in the comments below. And as always, the chia pudding was killer. I added some berries and granola, and I was a happy camper. This morning, I got my power yoga on, and I decided to make oatmeal. I added some cocoa powder for fun. I know it comes out looking nasty and burnt, but it is not. I added a little bit of maple syrup just to make it a bit more chocolatey sweet. I threw in some pears, berries, and a banana, dried cherries, and then I topped it with hemp as per usual. I top most things with hemp. Hemp's awesome. I'm a grain whore. I don't care. It makes me happy and it keeps me full all morning long.
Oh no. I lost the cherry.
After breakfast, I continued my obsession with my slow cooker meals, and I decided to try my hand at making some kind of like a veggie pot pie. What's great about something like this is you can just pretty much use whatever you got in the fridge. And if you've got some frozen veggies, that works really well too. We're basically making like a soup stew type thing here that we're gonna thicken up and add like a topping to later on. For lunch, I just heated up some last night's dinner, and I had some beets and one of my muffins. My daughter was still homesick, so I played some board games with her while we had lunch.
4. No forking goods, what that is.
She requested that we have chia pudding again for dessert, so I whipped up another batch, which is why I love this dessert. It comes together like in minutes, and it's pretty healthy, all things considered dessert-wise.
Well, having a late dinner. I needed it.
It gives me the warm tinglies. It really does. It just like makes me feel good inside. Maybe it's because I was really, really hungry. More of like a body reaction to not starving, potentially. All right, let's finish making dinner.
About a half hour before dinner, I added some flour to the stew to thicken the broth, and I made a really quick herb dough that I could roll out and cut circles out of. I put those on top of the mixture, turned the heat up a little bit, put the lid on about halfway so the Instant Pot could steam the bread and help it cook through. It turned out pretty decently. I think I'll add more herbs and spices if I made it again to this little bread thing. I let the kids pick their own toppings for the chia pudding. I always went with berries, granola, and some chocolate-covered quinoa. I had some silken tofu left in the fridge, so I decided to make a vegan version of custard toast, which is like this thing that was all over TikTok last summer. Like everything else, this recipe is on my website. I add a little cocoa powder to it to give it a little chocolatey vibe. You can add a little maple syrup or date paste or whatever in here to up the sweetness, but the protein powder that I use has a monk fruit sweetener in it, so I did not bother. What's really awesome about this breakfast is it's kind of like having a dessert for breakfast, and you can top it with whatever you please. It kind of reminds me a bit of like a Danish too. And in another edition of Let's Use the Slow Cooker this week, I decided to do something with black beans and mango. I have no idea what this is going to turn into. It's like a Caribbean black bean thing. I will try to come up with a better title if it's any good. We got mangoes for super cheap at the market, so I wanted to try them out in a dinner. When mangoes are this ripe, they just fall off the peel beautifully. Normally, I would never use a knife like this to cut garlic, but I couldn't find my garlic press, and I was being lazy. I'm not gonna lie. We all have lazy kitchen moments, right? I think I'm gonna use this to make bowls later. Maybe burritos, maybe both. We'll see. I don't know. This could be an utter disaster. Sticking to my theme of leftovers for lunch, here's dinner from last night. And you guessed it, a muffin! I'm so predictable. I keep some homemade vegan yogurt bark in the freezer for emotional emergencies, like I had today, with just extra work stuff.
So this turned out okay, our bean thing. So we're gonna try to fix it with a little bit of coconut milk. And then we're gonna cook it down. Plop, plop. Definitely needs to be thinner than that because right now it's a soup.
So we're gonna tag team this and see if we can't make it into something worthy of our mouths. Because right now, it's only okay. So my wife and I brainstormed what we could do with this, and we decided to add some coconut milk and lime juice, and we made it into a bit of a curry. It's turning into something. It will be edible. It will not be the best meal I've ever made. This isn't bad. I like it. Ooh. Cookies are ready. I heard you. I'm eating my dinner. This is totally good. This is not bad. I might put this on my website. Do you want this recipe? Let me know. My wife even whipped us up some cookies, and they were delicious. She put walnuts on mine because she loves me and she's awesome like that. After my morning yoga, I made a little fruit salad with apple, mango, and a bit of banana, and the rest of the banana I used in another Fogurt mix, and I topped it with granola. Voila! I probably have this at least 2 or 3 times a week, especially if I'm doing some kind of a muscle workout that requires a little extra protein. For lunch, I felt like I needed some greens, so I made a bed of greens and added last night's dinner to it and made a weird little brown rice curry salad thing. It was pretty good. For my lunch dessert, I had a muffin and a pear. I sort of felt like making cake for dessert. Nothing super fancy, and I wanted to use up the rest of the coconut milk from the other night, so I settled on a coconut cake. And the damn thing broke my whisk. I'm just kidding. It's a piece of crap and it was already broken. I just keep forgetting to replace it, so I don't throw it out yet. It was a pretty busy day, so for dinner I just wanted something simple, so I went with pasta and decided to make some tofu ricotta for the protein aspect. I cooked up some mushrooms and thawed some peas to go with it, tomato sauce from a jar. Yep, that's how we roll sometimes. Super easy pasta meal that I could just make while the pasta was cooking. And the cake was pretty good. I don't think it'll end up being in this video, but I think I'm gonna make a trifle with whatever's left of this cake. After walking the dog, I made some oatmeal because I love oatmeal and I'm obsessed with oats. Also, it's easy and it's Saturday. I used to be such a savory breakfast person, but going plant-based totally changed that, and I pretty much start every morning with something sweet. Today I was doing a big shoot for my show, so I had to get some groceries and then drive out of town for it. My son came with me and we stopped for a quick lunch. Burger King has an Impossible Burger, but I don't think this location had that option because the burgers here were not great.
Is that a veggie burger? Yeah, I guess it looks like a veggie burger. What a sad little thing this is.
But it was food and we were hungry and we didn't have a lot of options on the road.
It's fine.
As for food for the rest of the day, I basically just ate what I made for the show, which included my taco soup, a parfait made with tofu, and some PB with J waffles. They all turned out really awesome. I will post this video at some point on the website, so keep an eye out for that.
Not bad for a plant-based meal.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I know, look at us, meat eaters eating plants.
So this was actually a fairly typical week for me outside of all the slow cooker experiments. Almost all the recipes for what you see are in the description below, and if I miss one and you want it, let me know and I will get it up there. I hope you like this. I will be back with another one shortly for next month, so subscribe if you want to see that. Otherwise, check out this other What I Eat in a Week video. Thanks!